Hi everyone, my name is Milos and welcome to Ada's online sailing school. Racing rules might seem complicated at first, but here's the good news. You don't need to know every detail from the rulebook to enjoy racing. The goal of this series is to explain the basic racing rules in a simple way, show typical situations on the water, and introduce the scoring system. We'll also cover key definitions. They may seem obvious at first, but they form the foundation for understanding this important part of sailing. Knowing this will help you keep fair play, sail more effectively, make better tactical decisions, and most importantly, perform confidently in races. In this lesson, we're using sail talks, which we highly recommend whenever you talk about sailing. Let's get started. Today's lesson covers starting procedure and signals. The starting procedure is made from the committee boat by visual and sound signals, that is, by hoisting flags and making sound signals. The starting line itself lies between the orange starting flag and the starting mark. When the first mark of the course is rounded to port, which is the most common case in fleet racing, the race committee is positioned on the starboard side and the starting mark on the port side of the starting line. If the first mark is rounded to starboard, the arrangement is reversed. Now things begin to get slightly more complex, but there is nothing to worry about. The starting sequence is marked by a warning signal at 5 minutes before the start, a preparatory signal at 4 minutes before the start, the 1-minute signal, as well as the starting signal itself. So there are 4 sound and visual signals that need to be remembered. In short, the first 2 signals are made by hoisting specific flags, while the second 2 are made by lowering them. And each is accompanied by 1 sound signal in the time sequence of 5, 4, 1, and 0 minutes. And now let's go into this in a bit more detail. As for the sound signals, each one is a short sound, most often a boat horn. At smaller regattas, a whistle, while at major regattas, the starting signal itself may even be a cannon shot. Visual signals are displayed together with the sound signals, but they are slightly more complex. When displaying visual signals, we use flags from the International Code of Signals. Fortunately, on this occasion, we do not need to know all the flags of the nautical alphabet, but only specific ones. So, the race committee begins the starting sequence with the warning signal by hoisting the class flag for which the start is given. The class flag is defined by your class rules, so in addition to the flags of the International Code of Signals, flags bearing the class logo may also be used. Sometimes different classes are present on the same race course, so it is extremely important to recognize your class flag. If your class flag has just been hoisted, that is the sign that the starting procedure has begun, meaning you have 5 minutes to the start. If it is not your class flag, it is important to keep clear of the starting area so you do not interfere with the competitors for whom the start has been given. The next signal is the preparatory signal. It follows 1 minute later and indicates 4 minutes to the start. This is the moment to precisely synchronize your starting watch by pressing the sync button. The flag displayed at 4 minutes determines the type of starting rule that will apply during the final minute. In this example, we display the P flag, which is the most typical in small and medium fleets, and later we will explain all the rules that apply with different preparatory flags. The next signal marks the last minute before the start and is made by lowering the preparatory flag, in this case the P flag. 1 minute later comes the starting signal, which is made by lowering the class flag. So to recap, in the starting procedure we have 4 signals. The first 2 are made by hoisting flags and the second 2 by lowering them, and each is made with a sound signal. If an error occurs during the starting procedure or if the wind shifts drastically, the race committee will display the answering pennant, a long red and white pennant that resembles an airport windsock, accompanied by 2 sound signals. You may also see this flag in other situations. Whenever the race committee wishes to signal that the next race will be postponed for more than 5 minutes. During the next starting procedure, the race committee will lower the answering pennant with 1 sound signal. If there is a reason to abandon the race after the starting signal, the race committee will hoist end flag with 3 sound signals. The starting procedure will be repeated 1 minute after end flag is lowered. So, when you see end flag, return to the pre-start area and prepare for a new procedure. By displaying H flag below N flag, the race committee indicates that the next signal will be made ashore, while by displaying A flag below N flag, they announce that there will be no more racing that day. When one or more boats start early, committing a starting infringement, there are 2 possible signals. The first is a general recall, which is signaled by displaying the first substitute with 2 sound signals. It is used when the race committee is unable to identify all the boats that were on the course side at the moment of the starting signal. The second possibility is an individual recall, which is used when the race committee can identify each boat that started early. This signal is made by displaying the X flag with 1 sound signal. The race committee may announce the identity of those boats, but it does not have to, so the decision is entirely yours. Now let's get back to the preparatory signal, because the flag at 4 minutes determines what to do if you started early. There are 5 common starting rules. First is the P flag rule. Under this rule, no part of the boat may be on the course side at the moment of the starting signal. If that happens, she can go back and start again, as long as she does not interfere with any boat that has started correctly. She may return through the starting line, or by sailing around the starting mark or the committee boat. The I flag rule is a stricter version of the P flag rule. If any part of the boat was on the course side during the final minute of the starting procedure, she must go back and start again by sailing around the starting mark or the committee boat. If you believe that during the final minute you were even slightly on the course side, you should head back immediately to the pre-start side around one of the ends of the starting line so you can still start on time. The black flag rule is the toughest rule. It is often applied in large and highly competitive fleets and major regattas when many sailors aim for an aggressive start. Under this rule, any boat that is on the course side during the final minute of the starting procedure will be disqualified. Even if the race is restarted, the disqualification still stands and the boat will not be allowed to sail in that race. The U flag rule is similar to the black flag rule, except that in the case of a restart of the start or the race, boats that started early are allowed to take part in the race. So, it's a less strict version of the black flag rule. Finally, we have the Z flag rule. In this case, all boats that started early during the final minute of the starting procedure will receive a 20% penalty. This means that a penalty equal to 20% of the number of boats in the race will be added to the finishing position achieved. And now we have a flag related to the safety of the competitors. This is the Y flag, which indicates that all competitors must wear personal flotation devices. This flag may be displayed before the starting procedure with the preparatory signal or ashore. Class rules may additionally require other safety measures, such as closing the cabin. Knowing these rules will give you confidence and better results while sailing fair to everyone on the race course as you compete for the best position. Remember the words of Paul Elvstrom, "You haven't won the race if in winning the race you have lost the respect of your competitors." That's all for this lesson. If you found it useful, like the video and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions about this or other topics, drop them in the comments. Until next time, we wish you fair winds and smooth sailing.